It's always Gold FM for us at Golden Point, Raki Raki.
Gold FM is #1 in Lusaka.
Gold FM is Nandi's best radio station.
It's always Gold FM with us here in Singapore.
Old is gold and Gold FM is #1 here in Lusaka.
Singapore loves classic hits on Gold FM.
Listen to Gold FM here in Tagua.
We love Gold FM in Ba.
We've got beautiful beaches, people, and Gold FM in Raki Raki.
Lusaka loves the classic hits on Gold FM.
Gold FM, only the classic hits.
In the news tonight, police recover the bodies of a father and daughter who were missing since Monday. Pitandriti gets 5 years imprisonment for inciting to mutiny. And Prime Minister Vorengem Bainimarama opens a new meteorology office in Suva. Good evening, I'm Jackie Spate and this is FBC News. The bodies of 11-year-old Samantha Deo and her father Francis Deo have been found this afternoon. The father and daughter had been missing since Sunday night. Today, a group of people found their black taxi submerged in a river near the Aralevu Irish crossing at Tunalia in Nandi. Christopher Chand has the story. Viewer discretion is advised.
At around midday, people looking for the father and daughter stumbled upon the taxi at this part of the river. Police were then alerted and a pine skidder arrived about an hour later to help authorities. The body of young Samantha was found in the back seat. Her father Francis Deo was not in the car. Police then tried to break open the taxi to retrieve the body of the victim.
This morning when the water had receded, then we started looking for them again. We started from the Irish crossing, we kept swimming down the stream and later I felt the car under my feet.
Hours later, Anjani Deo, the mother of Samantha, arrived at the scene, distraught by the finding. The father and daughter had been missing since Sunday night. 3 days later, this sad and gruesome discovery has been made. The incident bringing back memories of another accident in Navua earlier this year, where the bodies of 2 people were retrieved from a creek after their car went off the road. Christopher Chand, FBC News.
We now join our correspondent from the West, Christopher Chand, live from our Nandi office. Chris, you have been following this story from yesterday. What else can you tell us?
Later this afternoon, people continued the search downstream for 46-year-old Francis Shalendra Deo. They found his body floating near the Mate Road Irish crossing. This is a sad ending for the family. The father and daughter were going to a relative's house at Tunalia on Sunday night when the car was swept away at the Aralevu Irish crossing.
A very sad ending indeed. Thanks so much for that, Christopher. Former Land Force Commander Pitandriti has been sentenced to 5 years imprisonment by Suva High Court Judge Justice Paul Madigan. Ndriti was convicted of inciting to mutiny. Chanel Sivan was in court.
Security was tight outside the court premises as a large number of people turned up to hear the outcome of the case. Pitandriti will serve 5 years behind bars with a non-parole period of 4 years. Judge Justice Paul Madigan rejected Driti's lawyer's submission to have a suspended sentence. Justice Madigan says the submission for having a suspended sentence was unrealistic because Driti's actions were serious. Driti is convicted of inciting to mutiny after he, knowing that Manasa Tangithakimbau is serving in the military force, attempted to seduce him from his duty in allegiance to the country. Driti also revealed a plan to Tangithakimbau of capturing Prime Minister Vorengen Bainimarama in Sudan and exile his family to a foreign country.
While sentencing, Justice Madigan said if the plan was successful, the country would have gone into a state of chaos and lawlessness. It was also revealed Driti joined the RFMF in 1984 and ended his career as a result of his actions in 2010.
He placed a starting point of 6 years and added another 4 years, making it 10 years. Due to Driti's mitigation and clear record in the military, Justice Madigan took away 5 years, giving him the 5-year sentence. Driti is eligible to apply for parole after serving 4 years. The maximum sentence for mutiny is 15 years imprisonment. Chanel Shivan, FBC News.
The government has withdrawn from the Pacific bloc of the ACP trade meeting in Solomon Islands as a matter of principle. The current meeting was called by the Forum Secretariat to prepare PACP trade ministers for trade discussions with the EU later in the week. In a statement to the 6 PACP trade ministers in Honiara, Attorney General Aisaid Qayyum said they need to meet without the EU's presence or pressure from the Forum Secretariat. He said that by calling rushed trade talks with the EU before the main meeting, the Forum Secretariat has not fulfilled its responsibility to act on the wishes of the member states. Said Qayyum says Fiji could not remain at the meeting under the circumstances because issues of sovereignty are riding on the negotiations towards the economic partnership agreements. The new multi-million-dollar meteorological office in Suva is now in operation. The facility will boost efforts to provide meteorological services to the country and the region at a time when climate change and disaster-related issues are at the forefront. Apisalome Dokar reports.
While opening the complex today, Prime Minister Vorengen Bainimarama said climate change causes extreme weather patterns such as intense flooding and ever more frequent tropical storms and cyclones. Over the last decade, tropical cyclones and floods have cost us lives and damage worth hundreds of millions of dollars. Bainimarama adds that today we have learned to be prepared, and the opening of the new weather office is part of a serious campaign to equip Fiji with the latest technology that will increase our capacity to deal with natural disasters.
Under the World Meteorological Organization, Fiji is assumed an important responsibility as a key strategic tropical warning center for the Southwest Pacific region. This means that Fiji is able to contribute substantially to the protection of life and property against natural disasters, not just at home, but for our neighbors as well.
The Prime Minister says Fiji performs this important work with a deep sense of humility and gratitude that we are able to provide services to the region. The new two-story building was constructed at a total cost of $3.6 million. Apisalome Dokar, FBC News.
Coming up, 2 arrested in police and canine sting at supermarket today.
Today FM is #1 here in Singapore.
We love Today FM in Lambasa. It rocks!
My favorite station in Nandi is Today FM.
I love Today FM because they play the awesome song.
Lotto kasi they love Today's kid music.
I love Today FM because they play all my songs.
We love Today FM at Vuniva Lambasa. Yeah, it rocks!
I love Today FM because it rocks.
Today's hit music on Today FM.
Bulan 2 sa Tolu FM, and naban 2 Raki-Raki.
Bula FM naban 2 in Nosor.
Go etabo ke boto ko sa Bula FM nga.
Bula FM naban 2 Corvo.
Bula FM naban 2 Sawa.
Bula FM naban 2 Lotoka. Bula.
Naban 2 ng Bula FM member.
Bula FM
Naban 2 NSR in Singapore.
Total talita ka warong ng Bula FM Lotoka.
Ali akar warong Bula FM naban 2 NSR.
Bula FM naban 2 NSR.
Welcome back. This is FBC News. A special police drug operation at the Suva market has resulted in 2 people being apprehended. Operation Singani Sudhu started today and will be conducted by police officers and the K9 units. The snap operation began at Market Police Post and covered the fish market and the surrounding areas.
This is just to try and curb the issue of drugs, because it has been noted that during the festive season there seems to be an increase in the drug dealings. This is because maybe people are out there trying to earn a quick barking in an illegal manner, and that's something that we're trying to curb at this stage. So this is just one of the proactive measures. We will be conducting this throughout the country, so it can happen at any time.
The 2 suspects were taken in for allegedly being in possession of drugs. Local and international road contractors were briefed by the Fiji Roads Authority today about the amount of work for 2013, as well as an overview of next year's programs. The Suva Forum was aimed at giving the FRA the opportunity to inform contractors of current and upcoming contracts. Ritika Pratap reports.
Fiji Roads Authority expects contractors to improve their standard of construction and the quality of materials used to upgrade, construct and reseal roads and bridges around the country.
Most of you are here to make your money, and we have a road to build, but we don't just want you to make your money, we also want you to make good roads for us. So, and that's essentially about today. How best to take us through 2014 and maybe even beyond that.
The FRA says they are impressed with the existing contractors and suppliers. However, there is room for improvement in service delivery come next year.
Make no mistake, FRA can't afford to wait around while a Fiji time approach is taken to the improvements required. Fiji time doesn't apply to us, and it can't apply to you if you want to work for us. And we want you to make the most of the opportunities that are there.
The contractors were also briefed about projects lined up for next year, and the FRA says 2014 will deliver more than this year.
To help the industry understand the size of the program that's in front of us, and also to help them understand what opportunities that they're going to have in the future to make some investments in their own business and to take advantage of the opportunities to grow their own businesses.
The FRA has a commitment to deliver 60% of its maintenance renewals in the first half of next year, and major works will be carried out in heavily populated areas around the country. Ritika Pratap, FPC News.
A review of the country's speed limits has begun in the capital. Mika Longa reports the exercise will see speed limits on some of our roads increased or decreased for flow of traffic and safety.
The Land Transport Authority, which is heading the review of speed limits, has brought in 2 experts from Singapore to show how it's done.
We're trying to gain as much knowledge and skills in the area of speed review and speed assessment.
The 25 participants expect to have an idea about designing speed on our roads through data collection of traffic flow and reading them on spreadsheets.
So that we can determine the 85th percentile in determining the best speed that would be safe for all road users, as well as improve on the traffic flow.
The review of the speed limit are mainly for highways and busy traffic, mostly in major business centers, and it will be over a period of time.
There is improvements in roads that have been done. Some lanes have been increased from 1 lane to 2 lanes, and there is also have been improvement done to the modern vehicles that have come on the road. So this needs to be done on a regular periodic basis so that we can determine the best fit that would bring about effective utilization of the road.
The training ends on Friday. Mikalonga, FBC News.
And we welcome Jamie now with sports.
Thanks, Jackie. Coming up, youngest Mbati ready for Newcastle Knights under-20 stint, and AFL Youth Games kicks off today at the Suva Grammar School grounds. These stories and more after the break.
देश की धड़कन रेडियो PG2 is number 1 in Singatoka.
मैं लंबासा के निवासी, मेरा नाम प्रेम चंद्रा है। देश की धड़कन रेडियो PG2 को मेरा सलाम।
नैनी में देश की धड़कन रेडियो PG2।
रेडियो PG2 में देश की धड़कन मुझे बहुत अच्छा लगता है।
रेडियो PG2 is number 1 in Singatoka।
नैनी में मेरा धड़कन है रेडियो PG2।
हम नन्नूपुर की रहता है और हम रेडियो PG2 हरदम सुनता है।
हमें रेडियो PG2 सुनो बहुत अच्छा लगे, आप भी रेडियो PG2 सुनो।
देश की धड़कन रेडियो PG2।
Talita na radio Fijian na mwira ni nondo konoa.
Ando talita kana borrongo na radio Fijian Singatoka mboleta ni station ni Alomatu.
Ando talita kabale una borrongo na radio Fijian station ni Alomatu elotoka.
Ando talita kabale una borrongo na radio Fijian na Mandi na station ni Alomatu.
Au tulo corvo Untuk warong live na station ni Almatua na Radio Fijian.
Untuk warong na Radio Fijian na station ni Almatua na Mendoi Tilip.
Welcome back to FPC Sports. He may not have had any game time at the Rugby League World Cup in England, but Vodafone Fiji Mbati rep Tikiko Noke's career path is beginning to take shape. The 19-year-old has been snatched up by the Newcastle Knights under-20 squad for next season, and he could be leaving for Australia as soon as January. Elena McDonald has the scoop.
This guy has always had a point to prove since joining Rugby League. Being the youngest Fiji Mbati was one thing. However, unable to showcase his talent in England last month has only driven him to strive further.
I've always wanted to play in the World Cup, and I'm going to try my best to play in the 2017 World Cup. And for me, this is not the end of the road. I told myself when I came back from the UK that I failed since I did, although I went there, but it was an unfinished business for me. And I'll try my best. In 2017, I'll play. So yeah, that's my mission for now.
The under-20s is a stepping stone, and at his rate, he could shoot up the development ladder quick enough to play alongside fellow Mbati mates Corbin Sims and Aquila Uwate.
They want my level of fitness to be with the boys in the under-20s. Like for now, I heard they are in stage 4. Is it stage 4 of training, or stage 4 in fitness and also in training? And for me, I'll just be. I think I'll be staying for a while here in Suva, training with Sonny Blake. Sonny Blake will be training me, and with also with a partner yet to be confirmed. So
it's the hard yards for Nokia this festive season, but with a personal mission he's determined to make possible, his rugby league future is looking bright. Elena McDonald, FPC Sports.
It's footy time with the AFL's Youth Oceania Cup games at the Suva Grammar Grounds. Over the next 3 days, teams from Nauru, Tonga and the Solomon Islands and Vanuatu will be competing against defending champs Fiji. Shelvin Chand reports.
The tournament is in its 6th year, and according to AFL Asia Pacific Development Manager Andrew Kedzo, the sport has grown in the region.
Fiji's just rolled out their national program, which is fantastic, getting to the islands, getting all around the country. So the numbers sort of gone from 2,000 to nearly 10,000 sort of numbers. So all of a sudden, lots of kids are playing the game. The girls are out playing the game. So a lot of interest. Certainly, it's a really enjoyable sport. Fijians are very athletic.
While AFL is mostly being played at schools level, in a couple of years, it will bust out onto the club scene.
And the seniors are now playing, and in 2014 they're going to have a structured senior competition for the first time, which is super. So it'll be a 4 or 6 club team competition in Suva especially, in preparation for the International Cup, which Fiji are holders of the 2nd division. So they've got some really good players, and all they need to do now, they've got to the stage where, no, we need a proper senior competition.
Following the tournament, an Oceania team will be selected for the South Pacific Cup at Coffs Harbour in Australia in April.
The Oceania team goes to the South Pacific Cup in Coffs Harbour, which is top end of New South Wales. They'll play in the tournament there, then they'll play the Indigenous, All-Australian Indigenous side, and then from there we'll pick a South Pacific squad that plays in the National Championships, which is the best 300 kids in Australia and the rest of the world. There's a world team and a South Pacific team all playing that.
AFL is growing. Slowly perhaps, but growing nonetheless. There's also a girls competition and a national girls team as well. Shalvin Chan, FBC Sports.
30 players have been confirmed for the Suva Table Tennis Championships this weekend. Apart from serving as a selection base for overseas tournaments next year, officials have made some adjustments to attract new players. Talendao Dakadaka has more.
A busy international calendar looms ahead for the table tennis fraternity next year. Officials will be picking the best of the lot from this weekend's competition for tournaments such as the Oceania Championships in Australia, World Championships in Japan, and ultimately the Nanjing Youth Olympics in China.
Out of Suva Open, we will be selecting our national senior and junior teams both for the tournaments we will have next year. So we encourage all players out there who wish to make it in the national team to take part in this event.
The average number of competitors for local tournaments stands at 30, so officials have introduced a new grade for beginners to build up their player base.
We're hoping to have a lot of beginners. That's why we have introduced a new event in this tournament. We will have the C grade, which allows all beginners to take part, and we have disallowed our national team players to take part in the junior events, which is under 12 and under 15, so that we give opportunity to other new players as well.
Over 70 players from the Central and Western Division will converge at Garden City Hall in Suva for the two-day tournament, which begins on Saturday. Tsalendo Dakavak, FBC Sports.
The Chris Science National Club Championships pool draw was held in Suva today. A total of 8 teams will take part in the tournament, which will see clubs from Suva, Navua, Ba, Rewa, Lautoka and Nandi compete. Pool 1 has United Civic, Blues and Combine, while Pool 2 sees League 4R Electric Mba, Education FC and North Pole do battle. The tournament starts on Friday at Prince Charles Park in Nandi. That's it from Sports Tonight. It's back to Jackie now with business.
5 people working at Nandi Airport have been recognized for their hard work by being awarded the Fijian Host of the Month. These individuals have been awarded for their excellent customer service for arriving and departing passengers. The 5 were awarded the Fijian Host of the Month for the months of June to October. Winners are selected from comment cards which are filled out by international visitors and posted in the Fijian Host kiosks. Border Police's Viliame Wanganivatu, Airports Fiji Limited employee Chochi Venkaravi, Customs officers Mary Ting, Angela Komai and Deepak Kumar were presented with their awards.
Visitors tell us which Fijian host, because after they've gone through the training they have a little badge. You saw some of them wearing that today, and it has their name and it identifies them as a Fijian host once they've done that training, and so they can write down their name and they submit this card, and that's how we pick the winner of the month. Then at the end of the year we pick the winner of the year.
The Tourism Ministry launched the Fijian Host program in September 2012 and has since trained approximately 350 Nandi Airport frontline team members. That time again, and hey Jen, what's happening on the weather front?
Well, surprisingly, we've got sunshine on the map, and a lot of it. It's just about to come up. There it is. Savu and Lambasa over here were the only ones to have showers throughout the day, and some parts of the capital had rain after lunch. But all in all, a generally fabulous day. Moving on to temperatures, the Hidden Paradise is on 33, the warmest. By Lambasa, not far behind on 32. Now, there's a small tropical disturbance to the south. The reason for those warm, brisk northerly winds felt over the country this afternoon. Finally, a forecast I'm happy to share. No sign of thunderstorms tomorrow, with a slight chance of cloudy periods and showers. Just look at that. I really think we should replace these sunny faces over here with smiley faces. And while we're on the topic of smiley faces, lucky Amitesh Kumar must be all smiles right now after seeing his picture on the big screen. Amitesh took this from Khorasan's new Edgewater Bure in Savu, which happens to look out over the lagoon. Some people just seem to have all the fun.
Thanks so much for that, Genevieve. Before we go, here are the main points again. Police have recovered the bodies of a father and daughter who were reported missing since Sunday by their families. Former Land Force Commander Pitan Riti has been sentenced to 5 years imprisonment for inciting to mutiny, and Fiji has withdrawn from the trade meeting of the Pacific Bloc of the ACP group in Solomon Islands as a matter of principle. To this week's poll question, we're asking, is the festive season heavily commercialized? To answer, visit our FBC website. Remember, you can send us newsworthy pictures and videos on email citizenseyes@fbc.com.fj or share it with us via our Facebook page, FBC News. And if you're on Twitter, follow and tweet us your stories at FBC News or simply hashtag FBC News. That's our news for today. Good evening.
Old Town Tower में it's only Mirchi FM. Mirchi FM is hot. ताकि हर घर में खाली मिर्ची FM बजे। मिर्ची FM it's hot.
Best sound, best music, Mirchi FM rocks and records.
Nani ka #1 station है Mirchi FM.
Mirchi FM is hot. Mirchi FM it's #1 in nursery.
Mirchi FM is hot. हम लोग मिर्ची FM रोज सुनता है। मिर्ची FM जागो मामा।
Mirchi